Hey, this is Chuck and Greg and Jesse here with you tonight. Sorry about the video from my phone.
I'm grooving to the tune.
You like that?
Is that AI generated?
Kind of hip, you know. You got to hip to be square. This is obviously for all the plaintiffs, and this is now on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. We got it on the YouTube channel. Greg, I also put it on your Twitter feed.
Cool.
As well as my Twitter. I put on Aaron's Twitter feed, but I don't think it's broadcasting on Aaron because he doesn't have the blue check. So it's just on Twitter.
I didn't know that was a thing still.
He's not paying the extortion fee to Elon, who's apparently about to be a trillionaire when today's launch goes up and they launch SpaceX as public.
Artemis is not SpaceX.
I thought Artemis was SpaceX. I thought it was
Artemis is like legit NASA.
Oh, well, cool then. It's not on like one of the NASA, but it's on one of the SpaceX rockets.
No, I don't think so. I think Artemis.
Oh, because my sister went to the launch. I said she's a.
I don't know. The only reason I'm saying that is like the dumbest of reasons. I was a chaperone on they probably did them from Atlanta too, but from Memphis, it was a popular trip to take the kids to Huntsville, Alabama, which is
I've done that.
Describable. And they had kind of like, this was when my kids were like in middle school. They had that whole exhibit about Artemis. I mean, it's been a lot of years in the works, and I saw them like the model rocket or whatever that they had in Huntsville. That's the only thing I remember is like that predates the Elon. I mean, it wasn't SpaceX
20 years ago. So it'll be great, and we'll be done with the live before the launch. So
I have it on behind my camera. I can see what's.
Even though it's not really part of our litigation, I do want to mention today's birthright citizenship oral argument.
What'd you think?
In the Supreme Court, it was. I don't know, Jess, if you listened to that, or Greg, you listened to it. It was a terrific oral argument by Cecilia Wong of ACLU.
Yeah.
Really well done. In some respects, I felt sorry for the Solicitor General because I think his argument is complete BS. I do believe that Justice Alito and Justice Thomas would have joined Chief Justice Taney in voting in the Dred Scott case, personally. But that's just my personal opinion. But that's going to be a 7-2 decision, is my guess. I don't know, Jess, you got a different opinion on that. And if they're smart, they don't even have to get to the Constitution.
I saw the parts about the Gorsuch asking about Native Americans.
Native Americans.
That was a prediction that is not going to. That's not.
No, and to be so incredibly wrong, to have to admit your argument is contrary to federal law.
Yeah. I think they needed to get some type of Roberts, Kavanaugh, Barrett, and I don't think he got any of them.
Kavanaugh was just as anti as the rest of them, besides Alito and Thomas. And of course, it starts off with Thomas and Alito because the first half hour, all their suck up.
But then Roberts kind of basically and then Gorsuch came in, and then Barrett kind of was like
just nice.
I honestly, I just hope they do a skinny order and they just say precedent.
And it's not until June 30th. Please do not issue this on June. Wait, just get it over with. Really, just get it over with. Anyway, I thought it was important to mention that because big legal news in the United States. My favorite tweet, however, was from our friend Stephen Brown on this. It's like, because they were arguing, all these other countries, they don't do this. Why are we doing it? We should do what they do. And
American exceptionalism.
Yeah. So Stephen's response is, should we adopt their gun control laws too? I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
So there we go. Anyway, the litigation today. Let's first talk about just the H-1B lottery because it's kind of out there. It's not, we're handling that with some really great lawyers. I was hoping we would have gotten the decision by today from that judge. Maybe by tomorrow, Friday, because the lottery's now been picked and cases are having to be filed. But I think there's some additional good information that's been given to that judge, and hopefully we'll get an answer on the $100,000 fee.
No, it's coming.
Next, because it's the one we've most recently worked on, and this is the lottery case, Jess. we yesterday Curtis had a call that we were supposed to be able to listen to, as were all his clients, and it just failed. Apparently that information, that system failed for the public hearing. But we still have not heard from the judge on the joinder with that case. We did comply with his order to file the preliminary injunction. Really, I think it's a great preliminary injunction, but we filed that, Jess, in the alternative. We also filed it as a motion for summary judgment. And that's interesting because the judge appears to want to put Curtis's case on summary judgment. Now, Jess, when you file a preliminary injunction, the government only has 14 days to respond. Curtis filed his a week before ours, I think. So that means Curtis's response is due tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the judge apparently, I mean, it was unclear because it's unclear what's going on there. That he did order the government to produce the administrative record by April 15th. Right. By the way, what the government wants is a final hearing in this case in like July. You know, they want to delay. Curtis did a good job of explaining to the judge why this can't be delayed. And I think he may have set their case up for a hearing by the end of May with a decision by early June. We're waiting to see what the judge does with ours. We don't have an answer yet.
Yeah, we followed. I mean, he gave us 3 days, and we worked like dogs to get everything in order. Plus, we filed an amended complaint. You know, so I mean, we've done everything we possibly could in that case. So
no, I think it's a solid, super solid case, and I don't see how Judge Ali, why he would basically not take the case at this point. He did ask the government to produce, to identify all the cases pending on this issue. There's apparently 2 others, Jess. There's one in Boston, and was it one in Arizona?
Arizona, maybe. Yeah.
But I know nothing about those cases. I don't know if they're just individual cases or what they are.
It's tough to. I mean, I don't know what case would be related unless the people were related. Yeah. I mean, if this isn't related, it's one policy.
Yeah. What's the plaintiff count in that case? Because we do have a question on that.
What's that question?
How many plaintiffs in this lawsuit?
Oh, well, we added another, is it 18 or 20? I think.
Yeah. What number are we up? I don't know the exact number.
I think it's 130, I think, something like that.
Okay.
A lot fewer than we had 5 years ago when we had thousands of clients. But nonetheless, I think we're in good hands here. I think we're in good shape. And we'll see what the judge does. That's really all the update we have in the lottery case. But we did file the amended complaint. We did post the amended complaint and the PI to our website. You can go to the IMMPact website. You have to go to the news section where it has the website on the section on our suit, and go to the bottom of that page. It's not as easy to find as I thought it might be, but I did find it there, so it's there. And we also emailed out to the plaintiffs the amended complaint and the PI. Redacted, we didn't, because we're not identifying the plaintiffs as anybody but the court and the government. So we're not. If you paid us, you're in the lawsuit. The next, Jess, is the 39-country ban case. Now, unfortunately, Zach, who's our lead on that, could not be with us tonight, but let me just kind of fill you in. Zach today is filing with the judge in the case that we filed in Georgia. He filed with the judge kind of our response to the government's 2 postings. So the government lawyer filed 2 things. One, they filed the memo that the government put out on their update on the bans. And then he posted today the website, a summary on the website, both of which say nothing. And Jess, I mean, under your take, I think they're meaningless. It was just gobbledygook.
No, it's just for litigation. I mean, yeah. You know, they're in the 3 cases that are presented to federal judges, well, they've lost.
Yeah.
So I mean, we knew this was coming. I mean, the next thing that I think may come is maybe some adjudications, because they're going to need to show that they're actually doing something. I mean, it's all litigation driven, though. It's all for show. It's all to get these cases bounced, or to get injunctions denied. And hopefully the judges are, they see through it, because you really can't read that the March 30th update as anything other than we might do something, we might not, but the memos are still in place. They didn't get rescinded.
What's interesting is that they averred that there was some changes to vetting, but all the changes they did was social media, which they were doing anyway.
Well, and the other thing too is, it's like, all right, give me your numbers on how many people had their visas revoked and their NATs revoked over this, because I don't hear that story. They don't. You would think they would share that number.
No, you think they would, right?
And the other thing too is, and this is the argument that I would make. Okay, so for four months you did nothing except hurt these people. So now you want to wake up and you might get to them. So, I mean, the harm is done. For people who are out of work and out of status, the harm is like now. Like,
what I did post to the Twitter machine today this note: if you live in rural America and you die because your doctor's home waiting for his visa to be renewed and he can't work, you should blame Trump and USCIS Joe.
Well, I mean,
or if you died, it's not going to be easy to make that.
A real update. I really wish the judge would drag us back into court, because a real update would be this. Listen, we don't know yet who the bad guys are, but we have to actually think about not making the problem worse. So everybody who is waiting for interim benefits or an oath ceremony after they were approved, you're going to get all that, right? They have to have some measures in place if they wanted to do this thing where they have to do something to keep people employed and in status. They cannot throw people off the work payrolls and off out of status.
Now, Jess, there was another piece of news that we have now filed in federal court today in the 39-country case. And it's a stunning document.
Yeah,
breaking news.
A stunning document that came into our hands through a source. And it is actually an email from the USCIS. This document is, to me, I just find it's stunning.
I mean, there are people following our case, and they were asking for, you know how I am with the media. I'm always so open to talk.
You talk to everybody.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, the person was asking, the government's, what's up with this March 30th guidance? And I said, listen, I think they're trying to walk back the hard line because courts aren't happy with it. They think it's discriminatory. And she said, well, let me show you something that I got from the spokesperson from USCIS. And it does not read like the March 30th update. It reads like nothing has changed. In fact, maybe even gotten worse. I don't know. I mean, that's my read.
Well, Jesse, would you mind if I put it up? Because it's now public record.
I mean, is the redacted, right?
Yeah, it's redacted. Yeah, it's redacted.
Yeah. I mean, what are we going to do with it? I mean,
let me see if I can put it up here.
It exists. I mean,
yeah, it's let's see if I can put this up here. Share my screen. Let's see if I can do this. I'm not the world's greatest expert on this. Let's see the image file. Yes, that's what I want. So I want to share. Why can't the image file show? Share. I don't want to share my screen. I want to slides, PDF. This is so much easier when I'm. Oh, there it is. All right. Let's see. Window. This is it. All right. Here we go. This is what we received and gave to the court today. This is from the USCIS media email attributable to USCIS spokesperson Matthew Tragesser. I don't know how to say his name. Optional practical training applications for Iranian nationals are banned and will not be processed in accordance with Presidential Proclamation 998. The Trump administration reviewing every immigration benefit, blah, blah, blah. Stopping the abuse will ensure U.S. workers. This is stunning, Jess.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a blatant decision.
Well, the last paragraph also basically.
Last one, we will continue to pause decisions from all high-risk countries and re-review cases of high-risk countries. We already found cases of fraud since the Boston event. Well, you'd think they'd be on the webpage. Look at the fraud we found.
Yeah, well, we're still waiting to see the present that Trump got from Iran as well, right? We're going to get that, right? It's you just, you know what it is? It's like we live in a world where you get to say whatever you want without any proof. I mean, and the reality is that's what they're trying to do in these memos, walking back this hard pause. But the problem is they want to tell the truth, right?
Well, they don't desperately want to.
They want to be like, we're not doing anything, go away. Like, and the reality is that's why courts exist. It's the same thing with birthright citizenship, you know? They put it out there and they're like, how dare you question us? And the courts look them straight in the eye and say, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? You know, it's sad.
You can't. This is illegal. I think this is a stunning document, and when the judge sees this, I think he's going to absolutely go nuts. I think he's going to say, maybe he'll come to our status conference.
I think at a minimum, it raises questions. Like, we should get maybe discovery. Like, what who's doing this March 30th? What does it mean? What was the thought process? What does it mean?
There is no discovery. There is no discovery. They produced the administrative record already.
Yeah, but no. But there's, even though the APA says, hey, you know, we should do this on the record. There is, if the judge doesn't think that he has everything, the judge on his own can order discovery, or we can do it.
In the previous case, absolutely. I mean, you can certainly ask for it.
I mean, I think there really are some really quite. I mean, and well, here's where I'm going with this. And I already went there, but I'll go it again. If I'm at the U.S. Attorney's Office and I have this disaster on my hands, I'm saying find 50 people and adjudicate their case tomorrow, because I'm dead. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I just told the court that it's all good, like everything's done. Yeah. And now I have you as a spokesperson saying there's no chance, zero chance.
Yeah.
That statement is worse than the memos.
Oh, absolutely, it's worse than the memos. I mean, this is just flat out, we're not going to do it.
Well, the memo sounded like we are going to be doing it, and we're just sort of making sure that everything is controlled and we're doing it correctly.
No,
this says we're not doing it. I mean, this email, I think the judge is going to be really mad because it appears that he's being snookered by DOJ, who's telling him one thing and they're posting something on their website. And here's this message that was sent separately that's not published on the website that seems to, almost be mocking the judge.
Well, it's obviously designed to give. You can put this in the New York Times tomorrow. It's attributable to the spokesperson. I mean, this is completely insane.
Well, they kind of didn't. I mean, but this, honestly, this is the most consistent part of the litigation that we've all been part of for the last year and a half. Yeah. Is, there's things that are said to the courts, and then there's something else that's like, well, no, like, it's not actually, they're saying this other thing, like, and then the judges, and then they want to blame the judges, but the judges are like, we couldn't do this. We can't do this stuff. We can't not tell two stories. I mean, so I think judges just want the story. Like, tell me the story so I can make a ruling.
Well, this tells a story. There's no doubt about that. This definitely tells a story. Let's hop over, by the way, to the F1 visa revocation case. We're still waiting on a decision on the motion to dismiss from.
Well, I did file a motion because the government attorney, who I know, he didn't mean to do it, but when he asked for leave to file a reply, I said that's fine, but we want to file a reply. Yeah. But he forgot about that. So we filed a motion. It was granted. So we're going to file like what they call like a surreply next week.
Reply to their reply.
Yeah, just to make a couple points that I think is the issue in that case really is, I know the plaintiffs kind of emailed about it. The issue is, can embassies and consulates deny visas on using 212F, which would essentially turn the temporary suspension into a permanent ineligibility ground.
Correct.
And that's the issue. That's the issue. I mean, and the answer has to be no. It has to. It better be.
By the way, we have received in the last 2 days a dozen emails from our clients on the lottery case where they actually got denied under 212F.
Yeah.
So,
I mean that's
just illegal. You can't. That's not a ground of admissibility.
Well, and then what it does, the practical effect is, if you're an F1 or you're an H, right? It doesn't leave your case waiting. You actually have to file a new one. Yeah, and interview again.
Yeah, and it might take a year
or two.
Yeah. So that's the F1 revocation case. We've got the 75 country case. I don't know. I thought I used to have that on here. The 75 country case. We are at this point. Did we have a PI? I can't recall if we have a PI pending in that case or not.
I don't think we do. I think we have. We served the complaint. There's a lot of cases going on that case, like with some really good legal counsel. So I think we're waiting and watching. Their case is kind of teed up for decisions.
Yes. It's great to get these decisions before we went forward on the PI.
Yeah. So I think, but we're, to be honest, it is so hard to keep track of all the bans. And I mean, it's so sad that like people have to go through, I'm subject to like 40, 3 bans. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, that one's an important one. I mean, that one really has no legs, because unlike the other, like the 212F, this was really just a creation of Rubio.
Yeah,
right. I'm just gonna change the public charge rule.
Because and you're gonna deny visas based upon that's completely insane. And by the way, we're seeing denials just from our clients on public charge, people that are clearly not public charges.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no,
this is what's so sad, right? So Iranian religious minority doctors, okay, U.S. citizen sponsors who have oodles of money file the 864, which is the sponsorship, financial affidavit of support, and they get this. The consular officer has to look them in the eye and says, "Oh yeah, I got this 75 country thing." So and they're like, "Well, what do you want? Like a bag of gold? Like what is the rule for you?" Like because I qualified. They were actually found exempt from the travel ban because they're a religious minority from Iran.
Right.
And then the consular officer is like, "Oh, but I got this other thing so there's no escape from it though."
Well, and that's again litigation. We'll have to look at litigation at that as well. I mean, you can use a basis to deny somebody, but you have to have a basis in fact to do that with. You can't use your gut. This goes something we wrote in our 39 country PI. This is not the Department of Pre-Crime. It's not Minority Report. It's like, let's stop all future crime. But that's just an impossible standard to meet. I would mention, by the way, that we are filing tomorrow a new 39 country ban for the new plaintiffs that have joined that suit. It's being filed in Colorado tomorrow. And then shortly after that, we'll file a preliminary injunction in that case as well. And we'll be onboarding a third 39 country ban inside the United States.
I wanted to make the point though too. It's like, because I think like the DOJ, I heard this the other day and it pissed me off like to no end. Listen, I only do litigation, right? But I was busy under the Biden years. I mean, and people are like, well, you guys just live for this to file these suits. And I was like, you're insane. I go, I would happily go quiet and just do the regular stuff that I was doing. This is insane. Nobody wants to do this.
Nobody Nobody wants to do this stuff.
You know what I always tell people? It's like it's like going and accusing a doctor of like being happy about a pandemic, because they're going to be so busy, treating all these patients who are dropping dead, that they must be thrilled because they're getting all this new business. Like, no, they didn't go into medicine.
I didn't need the new business
in order just to have a lot of patients and they can make a lot of money. That's and it's the same way for every immigration lawyer I know, and every immigration litigator I know, which is they would rather make their money.
Rather do our regular jobs. Yeah, regular stuff. Do my EB1s, EB2s.
Yeah, because I mean, the reality is litigation. People are going to disagree over what a rule is, or maybe you get a denial, and there's the occasional habeas or whatever. But like the environment we're in now is really government caused. It's really government caused because they can vet people.
Yeah, they have been vetting people for 30 years. Come on. Just a couple questions. Where do we file 39 countries? Are you positive you can obtain relief? Well, here's what I tell people, Jess. If you don't file, you have a 0% chance of winning.
Are they? But I think, no, seriously. But we filed in Georgia, and we're not positive we can obtain relief because if I was positive, I'd be at a casino if I could tell the future.
I could possibly anything, but we have a strong belief that we're right in the law. And the next case is in Colorado. We don't know where the next case of that will be. We will be doing it.
The answer to the question is this. I get this question, I'm sure you do 30 times a day. What are the odds?
The odds.
I always tell people this. That's the wrong question. You got to answer. This is the question for you. What are your options if you don't do this? So your odds if you don't do this are zero.
Zero.
So the odds in this case are higher than that.
Yeah, higher than that, and they're less than 100 because nothing is ever sure, other than birthright citizenship.
Yeah.
Jesse, last week you mentioned 4 particular cases you won. Did you get orders for settlement or mooted? What?
We settled. A couple are still pending because the people had to get interviews and adjudications. One was a court-ordered stipulation that the judge signed off, and one was mooted because the I-130s were approved.
Yeah, so there you go. We already talked about the documents that were submitted by the government. They were just literally copies. They were just copies of the publication that USCIS put on their website.
Yeah,
it is not right. That's the stuff that the government posted. The stuff we gave to the judge today was that's not.
Our stuff is new though.
Yeah.
Plaintiff, can you clarify the process in 20 for the ones where medical reports were expired? That's a good question. If I recall correctly, from 6 and 5 years ago, they reactivated those reports and didn't have people go back and get new medicals, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, there's very few countries where those medicals are only like good for like 3 to 6 months or something like that. Yeah. But I mean, if it were me, I may want to make sure I could get an appointment real quick if they asked, if they wanted to play that game. But that was I think they were only like the Russians who had like the tuberculosis thing, right?
Oh,
I mean, right?
You have to check your liver if you're Russian.
Yeah.
What's left of it. IMMPact, I have a question. What did the government file for stay of custody against the case in court?
I don't know what that means.
What that means. I don't understand. If you're referring to what they filed yesterday in 39 country case, we already talked about that. Can we file OPT while we have a pending 485? That's a legal question. And I know my answer to that is sure, why not? Greg, what do you advise people that are on F1s that file an adjustment when it comes to OPT?
I think you can, and basically also because the government right now is playing this game where they're like insisting that you maintain a status while an adjustment application is pending, they really are not leaving people with any.
You really have no choice but to do it. So
if you don't do it, and arguably, or you let your non-immigrant status lapse, that's a whole other risk set.
All right, Giovanni, our daughter was born after the interview. Is she not part of the onboarding? Look, your daughter would be included. All derivatives are included in your case.
I think they have to add them though on the.
He says he already added them with the DS.
Oh, she's good.
So yeah, she's good. She's good. Plaintiffs from the 75 countries who have 2 pauses.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're working on right now. There's a bunch of litigation on that besides ours, and we're kind of waiting to see because there's several that are much further along than ours. to see what will happen with that before we file our PI. It's kind of where we are. Some cases need to take time in administrative processing to check the eligibility of the issue. That's just.
I mean, we saw them do 8,000 visas in September of 2020. I mean, again, honestly, we will need the court. We will need the government to actually follow the court's order, and which I'm.
Wait, Chuck. This launches in 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
I'll turn the volume up on the launch, and when that's about
my husband has been waiting for almost 10 months for an answer. Administrative processing. Well, sue. I mean, lawsuit.
Admin processing is a black hole.
Yeah, it's a black hole right now. How motions would affect the judge's PI? The government's going to file motions to dismiss in almost every single case. Yeah. I know they just filed that in that case. It's weak. It's a weak motion to dismiss. The regime has real animosity to Iranians. I noticed that.
No kidding.
I noticed that.
I'll tell you right now, though. To be honest, it wasn't so great the last 10 years.
Last 10 years at all. Okay. My husband's visa was approved December 25. Issue was paused by the embassy. Case pending administrative processing. What are my chances? Well, I mean, if we win, we should issue the visa.
Yeah.
DV 2026 from Algeria. Visa issued December, later canceled without prejudice. I emailed my passport scan. Yeah, we got that today. We know about that. We've got lots of visas like that. We already talked about the 100,000 update. Lottery case fall goes well. To what extent might a positive ruling affect Casey's accountability for assigning? Look, if we win, it will work out. I promise you it will work out. We're not going to get into the details of how KCC might do this or the NBC, but it will work out. Judge on the 75 country pause is Carl J. Nicholas.
I think it's Nichols.
What is it? J. Carl? What is it?
It's Nichols.
Nichols. Yeah. Does it hurt the case? No.
I think Judge Leon yesterday tore him a new one on the ballroom. So I don't think the judges. I mean, listen, Beryl Howell, who killed the H-1B, she was, I think, an Obama appointee.
I'm appointee. Yeah.
So, judges, listen, honestly, I said it before, they want the truth, and they want to do the right thing. I mean, sometimes you lose with it's just. Yeah.
Greg, Greg's got to go and watch the launch. I'll watch it on repeat.
No, I have it on my TV right here. I'm just going to mute myself and turn this thing on.
That's probably fine. Doctors in the 39th country, if you change to clinical from residency to research, just understand there was the Morrison case, right? But you should be careful with that.
I think I've read a lot of these declarations, though, and I'm obviously ignorant of all this life that people lead with the residency and the research. I mean, it seems like that residency can be a natural progression to your endeavor, right? Like you would gain stuff that you could then use if you're going to take on. I mean, don't a lot of researchers like researchers, like if you're going to research cancer, wouldn't you have done residency?
You would think so. I think you have to. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, right? I don't know. I just read a lot of the declarations. I don't see misrepresentations there. I just haven't. Okay, so Mohaza is pending 485 on an EB2. His wife's a citizen, very worried about what's going to happen. Look, if you get approved that 140, I mean, if you want to file on 130, go right ahead. It doesn't affect the case. Remember, our lawsuit is for the individuals. It's for you, regardless of what application you have pending.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with an EB2 is, if you lose the permanent offer of employment, you're done. So if it's an NIW, maybe, but if you've roped an American citizen wife, I mean, an I-130 for what, $620? That $620?
630, and but it's taking 12 to 18 months for an I-130
for immediate relative.
Yeah, 12 to 18 months.
Oh my God! See, this is where I don't file these things. I mean, that's ridiculous.
If we win the PI, can they deny my OTP based on the email you mentioned? Well, I think the judge is going to issue a specific order on that. So no,
I think they can deny. I think they can deny.
If they have reason to deny it, they can deny it. But
yeah.
Liftoff. Greg, we have liftoff according to Britt Simon, so that's a good sign.
Is Britt in the spaceship?
What lottery is getting denied by 212F? You mentioned, please. That's the DV20.
Oh, it was Iranian students, and then it was anyone else subject to the travel bans.
Right. So, and the last one, Poppy, does the United Country pause affect H-1B extension filing and premium processing?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Anyway, that's it for today. We didn't get done in time for the launch. I'll have to go back to CNN and watch this. It's very cool.
I'm watching it. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. So we'll be live again next Wednesday. I'll be calling in from Peru, hopefully. Otherwise, somebody else will be running the call. We're going to try to make this regular at 6 o'clock for the IMMPact folks on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, Eastern Daylight Time. And, of course, you can watch it afterwards. Thank you, everybody, for your trust in us and for working with us. We see you guys next week. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.